Sorry for the lack of uploads, I can explain. I just haven't been feeling Tabor recently. Been bored of it, and that's about it. But I'm coming back because there's one video that got me a teensy bit angry. Just a little bit angry. And it's a video by a creator that I actually really like. And that video is Why is Tabor Dying by Radius Lemon. If you don't know who Radius Lemon is, basically the gist of it is he's just really good at the game. And he just grinds out a ton of gear. And that's kind of what got him popular. And as somebody who's kind of neutral on Tabor, I don't glaze it, I don't hate it, this video just rubbed me the wrong way. And quickly, before I start talking about what actually is in his video, please don't go send hate to him. Please don't do that. No matter what I say in this video, know that I actually do really like his content, and it's really just this video. So just keep it in this comment section. His main point is that Tabor is losing players, as you see in this part of the video.
Sorry, mind, just looking at the screenshot, there's only 1.6k people playing the game. And I understand that it is 11:02 a.m. on a Monday by the time I'm looking at that. Not everyone has off for Thanksgiving. I do. So I'm sure that number would be higher if I checked like last night, which was the weekend. But even with that being said, 1.6k for this game, I mean, they were averaging like 5,000. Well, when they actually updated the game, which was like a fucking year ago.
Now, I don't know where he's getting that number. I can't seem to find it on the Discord. So I'm just going to take its word for it. And while at first glance, that number seems like, oh shit, we are losing players. It's not really that straightforward. First of all, like he said, it was 11:02 a.m. on a Monday for him. So obviously, most of the little quest kiddies are going to be off the game by that point. And second of all, it's late wipe. Late wipe has always had very low players. That's what happens with every extraction shooter like Tarkov, Arena Breakout, all of them. So it doesn't really make any sense to use that number as his like base of reference for how the game's dying, because that number doesn't really show what the actual player base is that is, continuing to play the game during, start to mid wipe.
Like 5,000. Well, when they actually updated the game, which was like a fucking year ago. But I'm finally starting to see some people actually get on the same side that I'm on.
I do semi-agree with him on this. The game has not gotten a big update in around 7 months, which kind of pulls people away from the game and can make it seem dry. That's why I haven't been posting it recently. Now, Takrat, what do you mean by you semi-agree with that? Well, I just don't think it's the devs' fault, really. I mean, if you recall back to when all of those updates were happening, the game was a lot buggier. Now, the game has always been buggy, it always will be buggy, but the game was almost unplayable around that time, especially when Collector dropped. That was horrible. It was awful. So they've been slowly adding tons and tons of bug fixes, and honestly, the game is in one of the best states it's ever been in, with a lack of content. And now with the new content drop, which is the biggest one they've ever done, dropping pretty soon, it shouldn't be that big of a surprise on why it happened. I don't think it's the devs being lazy per se, just that the circumstances of the game required a lot more bug fixes than it required content.
Instead of saying, just take my word for it, look at these TikTok comments I found. This is on their official Ghost of Tabor page. And this was from 2 videos. 2 videos. These were basically all the top comments.
Do I really need to explain why TikTok comments aren't really a valid use of an argument? I mean, I can find just as many TikTok comments on one video, actually, just to be petty, but it doesn't prove them right? Like, this is a nothing burger. This is a nothing burger point.
I'm happy people are on board with what I have to say, because people like this are not helping.
Whoa, pause it right there. This comment says, take your time. Would rather it be smooth than buggy. Can't wait for new players to come join us. So Radius Lemon is arguing in favor of more content. Stop with all the bug fixes, bring us out the content. This would be, I guess, fine if he didn't contradict himself literally like not even 2 minutes later.
Now we're going on to the bug fixes portion, which in my opinion is a lot more controversial. Just to start off, I'm going to say they do not do half of what they should for the bugs in this game. I mean, I just showed y'all a clip of the collector rig still going to the floor.
Do you not understand the irony of showing a comment that's telling them to take it slow and figure out all the bugs, and then immediately disagreeing with that, not even like a minute and a half later? You can go watch the video, it's not that long after. Right after this, he lists some apparent bugs that are actually issues, but I don't want to play too much of his video. I recommend you go watch it. Just don't take my word for everything. Go make a decision for yourself. But complaining about bugs right after saying that they should just post the content, and that taking too much time on bugs is not something you agree with, it doesn't make any sense. But basically, long story short, the 3 bugs he mentions are bug glitches like the chat in-game not working correctly, crashes, and things despawning like the collector helmet.
And a week knows that the crashes are a problem. You can argue that Ghost of Tabor still fixes bugs, even though it's not the ones that matter. But just take a look at these patches. Do any of these bugs really look that game-breaking to you?
Yeah, they do. Because what are on those lists are VoIP issues and crashes. The 2 things that you just mentioned, other than the collector helmet. Like, what do you mean? Those are the 2 things that you actually wanted fixed. What do you mean that's not the changes that actually matter? Oh my god, what does that mean?
They are important. They fixed the voice chat bugging out and being too loud when I joined the lobby. Oh, wait, no they didn't. It's still back in the game because they didn't fix shit. They just said they did.
I don't know where he's getting that from. I had the same issue from like a couple weeks ago, and it's been fixed. It was fixed almost like a week afterwards. It wasn't, I mean, it could still be in the game. I don't really know.
And I'm not trying to be like, oh, people complain even when they fix bugs and then they complain when they don't. No, I'm complaining about the most useless, dog shit things in this game that they fix.
But people do actually complain on both sides. A lot of people complain about no content. A lot of people complain about the bugs being too much. So they try to balance them, and usually neither of them get happy because a lot of times they just want to hate on the game. And want to know why I know that? It's because I was one of them. You remember this video by NovaZQ? Want to know who researched it? It was me. And now I understand that it's hypocritical to not only say the bugs are out of control and they should just focus on the bugs, and also say they should just focus on the content. Because you can't do both at the same time unless you want exactly what is happening right now.
No, I promise I'll stop glazing into the radius eventually. I don't know when that'll be. But I just want to show y'all what CM Games does for their games, because they actually put quality effort into theirs, I will say.
He then shows a patch list from Into the Radius 2, which is a game that just came out, so bugs are going to be a lot more prevalent and a lot easier to fix, because there's just more of them in general. And obviously it's going to have more bug fixes, and it's going to run a lot faster for the updates and such. Want to know why? It's because it has almost 3 times the amount of employees. Actually, I think it's a little bit over 3 times the amount of employees. That is 150% more employees than worked on Skyrim. The game Skyrim. Now, obviously, not all of the people that work at CM Games works as the developers. A lot of them are probably, media teams, marketing, and also, there's also people working on other games that they make. But so is CWS, so my point still stands. Now, that's about all of the criticisms he really levies towards Tabor. All he talks about for the rest of the video is how Tabor is kind of dry as of right now, which is true. The game's kind of dry right now. But also that could just be due to the fact that you put so much time into the game like I have. I mean, if you got 80 collector kits, like you said, you put a crazy amount of time into the game. And no indie developer can keep up with that amount of playtime to keep you interested the entire time you've been playing that game. The fact is that this is a small company running a small game. So you're really just putting way too much pressure on them to release updates like every couple months when it's just not really in their ballpark. Now, I'm not going to say they're the most efficient devs ever. I'm not saying Tabor is some perfect little pretty game that can never do anything wrong, because, well, it has. It does. I'm just saying that, if you're having a lot of troubles playing the game, you think it is boring, you think it is dry, just go play something else. You don't have to always play Tabor. I've not been playing Tabor recently. That's not why I've not been posting. I said that in the start of the video. You don't really have to post a video talking about how the game is dying and all that stuff just because you're not really liking it anymore. Again, disclaimer, do not go send hate to Radius Lemon. If you do that, you're a nerd, you're cringe, you're dumb, you're stupid. All of that. Just go watch his video, make up your mind for yourself, and then don't just take my word for everything is basically all I'm saying. That's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video where hopefully I'm sitting in bushes. Because that's more my style. Alright, bye-bye.